you can't do it too lazy, but not too strong. It's not LaPusso, and it's also not LaPusso. It's right there in the middle with LaPusso.
Cobra Kai.
Kidding.
Whatever, LaPusso.
Bonsai, I'm the Cobra Kai kid, and today I am joined by Brock Duncan, who played Zack on Cobra Kai. How are you doing today, Brock?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming on. Super excited to be talking to you today. And also very excited to announce that throughout this interview, we're going to be raising money for Feed the Children, which is one of the leading anti-hunger organizations that helps provide food and assistance to those who don't have any. So, Brock, do you want to talk about why you chose this organization to help today?
I chose this organization because I care really deeply about the children and just the families out there who are starving in the world. It is an awful thing, even though I've never been that myself. I know that it's got to be an awful thing to go through, and I really just want to raise money for Feed the Children so that everyone can have enough to survive and really stay healthy.
Yeah, it's a great cause. So if you guys want to help support, you can donate through this video. There's a big blue donate button beneath. Just click that, help support, or check out the website. The link is in the description. So thank you guys. And let's just jump right into it. I have to say, your character, Zack on Cobra Kai, was, for me, the most underrated character of the season. Just
really?
Yeah, I like from the second your character came on, I was like because I like the bullies. Not that they're good, but like I like the acting from the bullies. I like they're interesting,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I just wanted to say your performance just really stood out for me, because also I was a fan of like characters like Brooks, and you were kind of
yeah.
You were like this generation of Brooks.
Yeah. A lot of people actually commented and would say you could be Brooks' younger brother, or Brooks' just relative, any relative.
Yeah, you guys both got the curly hair.
Yeah, we got the hair.
That would be cool. I'm on board for that theory.
Oh, yeah. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be so cool. And I mean, hey, it's not too far off, because like you're both in the Valley, middle school, he's in high school.
Yeah.
Be pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that is one of the many theories that is mind-blowing, and also it works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you're the younger brother looking up to him, but he's obviously doing some bad stuff, so.
Yeah, he's friends with Kyler. Which, actually, speaking of which, there could be a whole entire triangle there because there was that whole entire group with Kyler, Brooks, and a few other guys with him. And that'd be cool if all the bullies were also the other bullies' relatives.
Oh my God.
You see what I'm saying?
Wait, that actually makes sense. That could work.
Yeah, we all know each other from each other.
Oh.
If that makes sense, yeah.
And that would be a good way to bring Brooks back in season 5. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would.
That'd be sick. So, yeah, as I said, I thought your performance was really great, for the couple episodes you were in. Just like, I just like the bullies. I can't help myself. It's just like they're just interesting to watch. It's fun to watch the bad guys.
Yeah.
Are you do you prefer to play like a bad guy or a good guy in acting?
Well, oddly enough, actually, most of my career I've done three major projects, and that was Creepshow, Young Dylan, and now Cobra Kai. And in those projects, in Young Dylan, I was a bully. I played a kid named Harkley, and he was a nerd jerk who wanted to win this competition, and he was really, really, really persistent on winning. He would bash the other team. He was really intelligent, but he would stand up and get all the answers right and be really persnickety. And with Creepshow, he wasn't really a bully, actually. He was a pretty innocent guy. His name was Joe. And actually, the guy who played my bully on that show, because in Creepshow I did have a bully, was actually one of the stunt doubles. His Instagram is Chris Nato.
He was on Cobra Kai.
He was, yes.
So you worked with him on another project?
Yeah, and when I found out that he was in Cobra Kai, my mind was blown. I thought that's such a coincidence.
Oh, he was your stunt double.
Yeah, no, he wasn't my stunt double. He is a stunt double, but he played my bully.
Oh, that's so cool.
On the show, he would ride over on a skateboard and call me names.
Oh my god! Wow. Yeah. When did you film that?
I filmed it. I think that was in 2020 because I know it was during COVID, the big times of COVID. I think possibly summer of 2020, maybe early 2021. Or no, early 2021 is when we filmed Cobra Kai. I think it was definitely summer of 2020.
So did you know he was in Cobra Kai when you met him?
I did not. I did not know he was in Cobra Kai when I met him. We checked out his resume because we were curious as to who he was, and he's got a big resume.
Yeah.
And we saw that he was in Cobra Kai, and I thought that's awesome. He was in Stranger Things. He did a lot of other projects, and I was really excited to work with him. He's a great guy. And when I found out he was in Cobra Kai, when I got Cobra Kai, and I found out he was in it, I just thought, what a coincidence,
Small world.
Yeah.
So you found out that he was in Cobra Kai after you got the role or before you got the role?
I think it was after I got the role when I found out he was in Cobra Kai because we binge watched the entire TV show, and I noticed him. I thought he looked familiar, and so I said, "Mom, I think that's the guy that I work with."
Did he fight you in that other show you were on? Because he is a stunt double.
He didn't fight me. There was a reference to him, I think, punching me because I had a black eye in the episode I was in, and it was clearly shown, and my mom was upset about it. Meaning my stage mom was upset about it. And so there was a reference to him punching me. We didn't have a fight scene or anything like that, but he ran down the street with a skateboard and he called me a name and then got choked by a zombie. So that's fun.
That's very funny because it's kind of like foreshadowing. Like here you are in this other show getting bullied, and now in Cobra Kai you're the bully.
Yes, yeah.
So I know Martin Kove, who plays KREESE, he's always going on interviews saying KREESE isn't a villain. He's just misunderstood. So I'm curious, is Zack a villain? Is he a bully, or is he just misunderstood? What do you think?
Honestly, I think he's definitely a bully. A bully? No, he's a bully and a villain. I got those two mixed up. It could be, yeah, bully. It's the same thing. I think he's a villain and a bully. But I think there's something that might have caused that. I think there might be something within him or something that's happened in his past life that made him peer pressure his friends or maybe just created him into a bully. And now he goes by that and he bullies other kids.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think like a lot of actors, when they have to like play a role like that, they kind of give themselves a backstory to get into that. So did you kind of make a backstory for your character as to why he does the things that he does?
I thought to myself when I first time I read the lines, I created a little backstory, and I thought maybe he is hurt at home. Maybe he has abusive parents, because usually no one is ever born evil, and so there's usually something along life, a bump in the road, that makes you a bully, makes you want to bully other people. Usually you're insecure about yourself, or your parents abuse you, your siblings abuse you, anything like that. And so I believe that maybe he was either abused, or maybe something happened at school. Maybe he was bullied at school at the start, and he took that influence, put it onto other kids.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something, because like with Anthony, we know why he's a bully, because his parents kind of neglected him pretty much his whole life. But with Zack, it's a different case, because Zack is a violent kid. You know, he starts
Oh
the
yeah.
fight with with Kenny, like, which, Kenny called him an asshole, sure, but he kind of like he lured him into the thing. What did you expect? So yeah, like Zack throwing the first punch, it's like there's something there
Yeah.
with him.
And I'm obviously more in the show mentally intimidating than physically intimidating. But I would say that my peer pressuring, maybe I can, maybe I know stuff about Anthony and about the other kids that I can expose or share that they don't want me to do. So they follow all of my leads and they follow everything I do so that they don't get in trouble or anything like that. And I definitely am an asshole. I mean, Kenny was right about that. And so, yeah, I'm an evil kid. I mean, Zack is an evil kid. And so me just going off on him, even though what he said about my character is true, me completely beating the kid up and making him sit in a garbage can, that is the worst thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, it's so cruel. It's so cruel to watch. It's like you feel so bad for Kenny, but you
Yeah.
guys did such a good job because if people are not liking your character, that's how you know you did a great job.
Yeah.
Have people like what have people said about your role in Zack?
I've gotten a lot of people commenting, I hated your character. Your character was awful. Someone said, your character is worse than Thanos and worse than any other villain. I had a lot of people saying these awful things, but I loved it. I've got humor about it, and I also I loved it. I'm loving all this. Your character's awful. Some people have come up to me and said your character's awful, but I love it.
Yeah, that's what I feel. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think your character is awful. I think what your character does is awful, but your character is like, it's a good written character because you don't like.
Yeah.
But I'm like rooting for him though.
For Kenny or for me?
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for Zack.
Really?
To redeem himself.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, not to pick on Kenny. That's messed up. Why would you do
that?
Okay.
Yeah. Although Kenny, he became a bit of a
Kenny turned to the dark
side. Troublemaker in the end there.
Yeah, and Zack got a glimpse of that.
I think, like I said, I believe him, and now he's getting revenge.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the same as to what happened with me. It's just a cycle. You bully people, they bully you, then they start to bully, then you start to bully. It goes around and around.
Yeah, it's that theme of like, just be careful like what you do to someone because you never know, it might come back to bite you in the butt, and it happened.
Yeah.
Do you think there's redemption for Zack? I know it's a bit of a journey, but do you think there is?
In Kenny's point of view, I think not.
Yeah.
I think Zack could possibly redeem himself, maybe, but he would need lots of help doing so because clearly he has a bad soul. Clearly something happened, like I said before, and he can't. I mean, he keeps on doing this. He peer pressures, and he just completely. He's a bully, obviously, and he bullies people constantly.
Yeah, and what I found interesting is he even bullies Anthony, who is supposed to be his own friend.
Yeah. I tell him what to do. I push him around. I walk all over him.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of like it kind of sounds like an insecurity thing. Like maybe like Zack's like insecure about himself, so he kind of just puts it onto others.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you also mentioned something before, which I thought was really interesting. You said like that physically, like you don't look like this bully. You're not like big like Brooks and like that intimidating. But you said like mentally and like what you say, like you get into people's heads and like you play with people's emotions, like your character.
Yeah, unfortunately, they auditioned me, and the character description said big, buff, and intimidating.
Really?
Yeah. And so we almost didn't go in because I'm not big, I'm not buff, I'm not that intimidating. But I went in anyway and I got the part, and I am overjoyed that I got the part to this day.
That's a little. I'm kind of curious why. I like that. I like the because I feel like if they got someone this giant guy, it would take away from like it being like middle schoolers, you know.
Yeah.
Because we kind of I just thought it was like a really fresh take having the middle schoolers bullying other middle schoolers, and you just see like this cruel stuff that they do. It was really well executed.
Yeah.
So I'm curious when you first started getting into acting, and like what made you realize that you wanted to pursue it as a career?
Well, I have always watched my mom and dad act on TV. My dad was a series regular on the Jamie Foxx show. My mom was on Broadway. She was Sandy in Grease
Oh,
on
nice.
Broadway. And so I have always looked up to them. And I've also grown up watching all different kinds of movies. And so I think watching my parents do their thing, along with watching movies and TV shows, I definitely thought to myself, that would be really fun to do. I think being on there and embodying a whole new character, because that's what you're doing. It's playing pretend. It's playing pretend, which I also love to do. But playing pretend and doing your thing, having lines, interacting with other people, it's a really magical experience.
Yeah, and you do such a great job. So
Well, I
hats off.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course. What was your first ever acting job?
Gosh. My first ever acting job. I think that would have to be, I think my first ever, I cannot speak today. My first ever acting job would have to be a commercial I did, I think. This was, I don't even know when this was, but it was definitely near, I think 2019, maybe even 2020. But I think it was a commercial, and it was for Frontier. It was a Frontier commercial, a Wi-Fi company, and it was saying all these monthly fees, and the joke was fleas. So you had to itch yourself and stuff. So that was really fun to do. I got to pour baby powder on myself and spin around. I think that was my first acting job. Actually, I just had a thought. When I lived in LA, this is on my IMDb, but it's a short film about I think it's a blind person and a deaf person. It's called One Day DHB Acting Studio, I think. It's an independent film. It's spreading awareness, I believe.
Yeah, I saw that. I was curious what that was. So it was a short film. What was it spreading awareness about?
I think the blind and deaf community, I believe. I think so.
And do you remember what your role was in that?
I don't remember my name. I remember what I did. I was a kid. I think I was sitting near a fireplace, and then my mom came up, and I was wearing glasses. And my mom came up, and I was kind of wandering. I couldn't see where I was going, and so I was wandering, and she just took me into the other room. And my brother was also in that.
Who was in that?
My brother.
Oh,
yeah, my brother was also in.
Your whole family does acting, right?
Oh yeah, my brother, my sister, my mom, and my dad.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So all of you grew up into it because of your parents.
Yeah, we all grew up into it. We all enjoy the craft.
Did your grandparents do acting, or was it just your parents?
No, I don't think any of my grandparents did acting. I think my parents found it and they ended up loving it. Maybe there's I actually don't know about that question. I don't think any of my grandparents did it though. Maybe other relatives though.
Yeah. So what did your family like and friends, because this is like Cobra Kai, it's a big deal. Like yeah, like you just landed a huge role. Like what did they think about that?
My brother and sister, they were all really supportive of me. of course, and they were all really proud of me. My friends, they were going insane when they found out. They were going absolutely insane. I know my friend Sheldon, who watched the show, was going absolutely insane. A few other of my friends in my friend group that I had, they were also going insane. It was really cool.
When you say like going insane, like what kind of stuff are they doing? You're saying
they were jumping around like, oh my gosh, you were in a Cobra Kai. That's the big show. How did you get in that show? Were you playing? Obviously, I couldn't say at the time, but they were. It was hilarious.
Wait, when were you announced again to be in it?
When I put it on social media, or when they cast me?
When were you like official? Like when did they find out where you couldn't tell people who you were, but it was announced?
It was just a few days after I did the audition, and I got the role. My mom and dad pulled me into the room and they told me, and I started freaking out, even though I actually hadn't watched the show. I hadn't watched Cobra Kai then, but I ended up binging it, and I absolutely love the show. And so I came down and told my brother, sister, and I think that was when, I can't remember exactly when that was, but I know it was around 2020.
Okay, so it was officially announced, but you couldn't tell people who you were playing.
No, I couldn't tell anything. No script, no who I was playing, any lines of mine. I couldn't say a thing.
What was that like, having to keep that secret from like your closest friends?
That was pretty difficult. I'm not gonna lie. That was, because they would ask me, and I would want to tell them so badly, because it was an interesting storyline, and I would want to tell them I am playing a bully, and here are all my lines. Here's what goes on the next season. I would want to tell them everything that goes on, but unfortunately I couldn't, and so it was a hard secret to keep until it came out, and I just told a lot of things to my friends about what happened on set, how I got the part, what it was like playing, and it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Did they try and guess who you were gonna play?
Yeah, actually, my friend asked me, because Dallas announced it before I did.
Yeah.
And my friend goes, "Let me guess, do you bully this kid?" And sends me a picture of Dallas. And I start freaking out, because I'm thinking, how does he know that? How does anyone know about that? And so I said, no, why? I just had to play it off. And,
bro, you're wrong. You're so wrong. And then it comes.
What are you talking about? Since when?
Did he message you after, like saying, like, I told you, I called it?
I think he did. Text me, and he goes, "What did I say? I told you."
Well, I guess, yeah, when they announced Dallas, they said a bullied new kid who turns to karate to defend himself. So that was.
Oh yeah, did they really?
Yeah, so he had that one sentence character description: bully new kid who turns to karate. So I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. I wasn't really trying to like connect the dots too much. Like, I really like, I saw a bunch of new people being introduced, including you, and I just wanted to kind of just see what happens. But
wait to see, yeah.
Props to your friend though for guessing.
Yeah. That was pretty impressive.
So, I checked out your Instagram, and along with acting, like, I'm so impressed. You are a dancer, a singer, pianist, drummer. So, like, how did you get into all of those things?
That's an interesting question, actually. When I was 2, I got a drum set, and I started playing that, and I fell in love with the drums. And ever since then, I would always, even at school, I'd be at my desk and I'd just start tapping and creating beats for fun. And I think I started playing the piano because, number one, it's a beautiful instrument. And my mom plays the piano as well. And she has taught me a few things because I love singing. She said, that'd be great if you could sing and play piano. That's really fun to do, along with it's a really expressive talent to do as well. And I said, yeah, that would be pretty cool. So she gave me a few lessons. She would teach me like which chords are which, and I kind of just self-taught myself from there. And now I love to play. I love to look up songs and play them. Yeah.
That's great. So it was your mom who taught you, but other than that, you're completely just you.
Yeah. Yeah. She taught me a lot of stuff. She taught me every chord, what they're named, and all the B7s and flat the ninth and all this stuff. So that was really helpful because I know that without her, I would not be playing piano.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram cover. I believe it was Angry Young Men. Is that the name? That's the name of it, right?
Yeah.
What the?
I don't even know. My mom also introduced me to that. She said, "Ibby, can you play this?" And she showed it to me. And Billy Joel, his hands were on fire. He was hitting these notes so fast. And I looked at her and I said, "Yeah, I can play that for sure." Being sarcastic, and I sat down and she told me like where it is, what it is. And I started slow, and it's still hard to do this day because there's so many notes in 1 second. And so I can still kind of play that. Not really. I don't know any of the rest of the notes. I only know that little fast part, but that is a hard song to do.
You must be good at video games. With like your the remote control, like clicking all the buttons.
I actually don't. I play some video games with my brother sometimes. And he says I'm bad, but I'm just kidding. And I have an Oculus, and I play that a lot. And I love it's a whole new world. It's really cool. VR.
Yeah, you just get really cool. Transported.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Use your hands. You can do anything.
You ever like bump into a wall or anything that ever happened?
Oh yeah, there have been some times where I've tripped over things, and luckily they have that Guardian where you can set it up. You can draw the little line that shows you where you can't go. So you step here and it goes into red and it says step back. So luckily they have that now. But yeah, I'm always really nervous of that.
I remember I went to like an arcade once and they had like a VR. It was like Vader Immortal. Do you know that game?
I think so. I think I've seen it on the VR store sometimes.
Yeah, I just remember like someone took a video of me doing it, and I'm like, where am I? Like, just like looking like an idiot, even though I'm in the thing. I'm thinking I'm doing so good.
Yeah. I mean, when you're playing it, you feel awesome. When you're in when you're in those glasses, you feel awesome. Whether you're shooting guns or hitting people or climbing walls, whatever you're doing, you feel awesome. And on the outside, you look so weird. You're just walking around and going like this and moving your arms left and right.
Yeah, but that's cool that you have that though. That's really fun.
Oh, I love the VR. Yeah.
And you're also a dancer, and you're very, very good. So how did you get into that?
That is actually a good question. How did I get into dancing? Oh, I know. I love Michael Jackson, and my dad introduced me to Michael Jackson, and we always jammed to his music together. And watching him dance, a lot of it has to do with watching people do their own thing, and then me getting interested. All of my, all of the things I do today, they have to do with me watching people and thinking that would be really fun. And so I get into it. I learn how to do it, and it becomes really fun and really interesting. And so I watched Michael Jackson do all of his concerts, and it would really inspire me. And so I started, busting out some of his moves as for fun. Not that I wasn't any good at that time. And I would just start doing it. And there was a dance studio. So when I turned around 6, 7, or 8, I think we went there. And ever since then, I've been training. And I've taken a little bit of a break because of COVID.
Yeah. And I saw those videos on your Instagram of you at the dance studio, and you're like the youngest one there. Like everyone looks so much older.
Oh yeah, there's a dance studio, and it's downtown. And I went there the first time I went there. My sister actually went there first, but the first time I went there, I felt really overwhelmed because they were either teenagers or adults, and I was the only elementary school kid there. And I would just be there, and I'd feel less than. I'd feel like they're doing so well. I don't even know what the first move is, And so that definitely taught me a lot, though. Because a lot of people in there, because I was an elementary school kid, a lot of the teachers would notice me. And so it was cool to, be there dancing with everybody. And
Yeah, that must be huge for you, especially like at such a young age, because there's that famous expression like it's better to like do things like with like go against people who are better than you, and even though you're not like going against, you're just dancing.
yeah, it's not like a competitive thing when you're in a studio.
Yeah, but like at the same time, like you wanna keep up with everybody. You don't want to be the one that slows everyone down. And especially since you're younger, you have probably more pressure. People are like looking at you like, why is he here? But you
Yeah.
fit right in. Like people, they got to go check out these videos. What's your Instagram? Do you want to shout it out?
My Instagram is Brock Daniel Duncan official.
Okay. Yeah. So all of these piano covers and dance videos that we're referencing are on your Instagram. So it's really cool stuff. I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
Do you play any other instruments other than drums and piano?
I have attempted guitar, and I didn't tune it well, along with the fact that I couldn't play an E. So I still would love to play guitar. I think that'd be a really good talent to have, especially because I like making music and creating music and making different things for fun. And I think that'd be really cool to have, because you can sing and play guitar, sing and do all that stuff. I don't play any other instruments besides percussion. I do marimba. They have that at my school. We have a band program, and so I can do marimba, snare, all the percussion, and then I do piano, and that's it. Yeah. But I love to extend my musical instruments that I can play.
So you play for your school band?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Are you in middle school?
Yes.
And are you the like, because I know some of the kids are like, you're 13 years old, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So are you the youngest out of like all the other kids?
No, I am. A lot of people, there are minimal people who are 14 in my grade. I am 13. Most people are 13. A few people are 12. And so it's kind of just in my grade, it's 12, 13, and 14.
I totally worded that so wrong. In my head, you answered it right. I was thinking on the set of Cobra Kai, but I didn't say it.
Oh, on the set of
No,
Cobra Kai, oh, you meant school.
Yeah, no, I didn't even bring up Cobra Kai. Just like it was just in my head. I'm like, yeah, on Cobra Kai, because I know Dallas is, I believe he's 15. Milena is 15. So were you the youngest there?
I was the youngest there, actually, yeah. And I think the only other actors that were my age were AJ and Jaden. I think those were the only two that were with me. But yeah, the rest, Griffin, Dallas, and Milena, they were all older than me.
Yeah, you're picking
so
on.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I felt really small. Like I thought, because I'm tall for my age, and so I would arrive on set, and I thought, oh, these people are all around my age range, and I think I was 12 or 11 at the time. And I went, how old are you? And they went, oh, I'm 14. I went, oh, right, yeah, absolutely.
You meet Dallas for the first time. Hi, I'm the kid 2 years younger who's gonna be bullying you.
Yeah. I kind of beat you up, even though I'm much younger than you. So
you gotta have the confidence, like, right, for that, like being younger, but then like you have to kind of play older.
Yeah. So we are in middle school. I think we are in middle school when this is all happening. But yeah, I definitely have to play older to bully someone who's older than me, like Dallas.
Yeah. I'm curious to get into that mindset. Did you kind of maybe stay away from Dallas, like maybe say a quick hello, and then kind of like so you didn't get too friendly with him before you knew you had to beat him up? How did that work for you?
Oh no, we were all really friendly with each other on set. There was a lot of free time we had. I know there was this one time, I can't remember what scene we were filming, but we had a lot of free time. It was around like an hour and a half, and we all started talking and just discussing different things, having conversations. We sat in the trailers, well, like all distance, and sitting on the stairs of some of the trailers, and we were all just talking, having a great time. And Bullying Dallas, such a great actor, he was able to really hate me, and I was able to really hate him. We were really just going at it with each other.
So you guys were able to be like friends like 2 seconds before they started rolling, and then when they started rolling, go into that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I know in Karate Kid, it's actually really interesting. They purposely kept Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka away from each other as much as they could to kind of
Really?
leave that tension there.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Wow. Oh,
yeah, and
yeah.
then
That makes sense. That's a good strategy as well.
yeah, it's like like because obviously it's not like you have anything against each other in real life, but like you need to play that role, and if it's like if you're really liking this person as a friend, it might be like harder to get that.
Yeah, it's harder to play the bully and not feel bad.
Yeah, well, I couldn't even tell because you were still treating Dallas like he didn't seem like your friend in the show. So
No, not at all.
It worked out. Did you get to like talk to him a lot like before I know you guys like bonded throughout the show, but like before like your very first scene, did you get to talk to him and be friendly with him?
The very first scene I shot was with Griffin, and it was the one it was the computer scene where we're all sitting around the computer and we're bullying Kenny online. That was the first scene we shot. I think the first one with Dallas, I actually can't remember the first one with Dallas. It was either may have been may have been the library scene, also may have been the Balboa Park scene. That also may have been it. I don't know. It could have been several scenes. I can't remember.
Basketball? Was it basketball or no?
Yes, it was basketball.
Oh, it was basketball. Okay,
that
cool.
was the first scene. That was also the first scene where I met Milena.
Yeah.
Those were the two first scenes that I met them.
Yeah, what was it like filming that? Like, do you play basketball in real life?
I don't play basketball. No, I don't play basketball. Some of the kids there were really good though. I was watching them play while they would get some shots of them playing, and they were really good. Filming that scene, that was really fun, especially watching the stunt double get she got hit by that ball so hard.
It was a real basketball?
I think so, yeah. Oh yeah.
Why
maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it just looked really real. I don't know how they did it, but it looked like a real basketball, and it might not have been actually. It may have been like foam squished. I'm not sure, but it would bounce. So that's why I thought it might have been a real basketball. But and she got hit. She immediately turned, fell down, did a thing, and I got hurt watching that. I wasn't even hurt.
I mean, like, dude, you just got facialed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that. That's what I love about Zack. Like, it's like the over the topness. I like that.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. Whatever, LaPusso.
Yeah. Whatever, LaPusso.
There we go.
The P. It may even sound like a B, like a LaPusso.
Yeah. It's like crazy hearing you say it because like you started like I think you know this. Like you started a trend. Like it's all around this LaPusso.
Surprisingly so, yeah. I didn't know that line was gonna get so big because I've heard a lot of people say that. LaPusso, that's the trademark. LaPusso, that's always been the yeah.
Yeah, what is it like? Like, what was it like having to say that? Like reading the script, seeing that line, and then like using that multiple times.
That's a freaking hilarious line. I love that line. LaPusso. It has such a ring to it as well. And so saying the line was really fun. You got to play around with it a lot. I find different ways to say it and put it in different words, put it in a different tone, all of that stuff. So it was fun to work around that line.
It's funny how like you came up with it, but then like Dallas steals it. Like
yeah. They all start using it.
That's my hope in season 5 that we still get that line.
Yeah.
They got to. So you said during the basketball scene, like people were playing, like, was it like anyone from the main cast that like stood out to you as being good? I know Dallas plays in real life.
Yeah, Dallas was really good when he did that. He did that trick and then he shot the hoop. Jaden was really good when he was playing because he played with some of the other kids and they were just playing. And then so I think AJ was good as well. They were all pretty good at basketball. Yeah.
Yeah. That I love that scene. And then yeah, the bus scene was very funny too.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the bus scene, not the first scene, but at the very end of episode 2, like when there's that montage of like Kenny, like, you know, talking to, you know, Sean in the juvie, and like you see like, you know, little clips of him like getting picked on. There was that clip of you throwing the milk at him. I'm curious, like, you know, because that was you got the throw like right on. Like, was that a one take thing, or did you have to do that a couple times?
I think that took around 3 takes. The first one, I think it hit the seat, but it didn't hit him at all. Or maybe it went too far. I think it
Yeah.
went too far up into the seat above him. Luckily, no one was sitting there. But then we did another take. It either took 2 or 3 takes. But I remember on the last take, I was so focused because there were 2 girls sitting in front of me and I didn't want to hit them. And so I was so focused and I threw it. And what's perfect about it is not only did it just crash on his head, but it hit the seat, tilted, and then crashed on his head. And so it worked perfectly. And my cheers with all of them, that was real. I was really cheering. I was really happy about that one.
Yeah, like you were happy that you actually got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like a really tough throw because also he was kind of like laying back into his seat, so it's not like he was like standing up above. Like you kind of had to like aim over the seat.
Guess where he was, and yeah, he was kind of slumped down in his seat.
Yeah. So did it like kind of hit him before in a way where maybe like, because I know like he got some like of the milk on him. Did they have to like kind of clean that up, or were all the other attempts didn't really like get him?
All the other attempts, I don't think they really got him. No, I think they spilled on other parts of the bus. They spilled somewhere else on the bus.
Well, 3 attempts is not bad for that.
Yeah. 2 or 3. I can't remember specifically, but
it's funny like what they could like what shots they can kind of do over and over, and then what shots, because I know the milk scene from the lot, like with it's something with these bullies and milk. I don't know what the obsession is.
Yeah, exactly. We do the milk on him, and then there's also the milk in the locker.
And it's all Zack.
That's true as well, yeah.
Zack's just like a milk guy. I don't know.
Just obsessed with milk and throwing milk, and I use milk as a defense weapon, an offense weapon.
Maybe like he's actually trying to help Kenny. He's like, listen, I know like you play basketball and it's important that you drink milk and stay hydrated, healthy.
Yeah, right. Here, let me help you. If I pour milk on you, that'll make your bones stronger. You just gotta at least try to get it in your mouth, so then the more milk you drink, more makes your bones stronger. That'll help you with your life.
So what does Zack do with the locker seat? Does he go to the grocery store and buy like 30 gallons of milk? Like,
I don't know. I don't know how Zack even managed to get all that milk in the locker, have it spill all over him.
Were you there for that? The filming of that?
I was not there for that. No, I wasn't there for that. I saw it, but I wasn't there for that.
It's remarkable because like they only had 1 take to do it, and they got it right on the first take.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I spoke to Dallas, and it was 1 shot, because if all that milk spills, like
they have to clean it, put it all back, and
yeah, and then he said he only had like 5 minutes left to film in the day. So
oh gosh, that was rough.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious, like, were there any scenes, because because you are like, under this very tight schedule, sometimes you could only do this for a certain amount of time, like any scenes where like that like kind of stood out in particular, you kind of had to like rush it in, maybe you had to do this a couple times?
I think doing that Balboa Park scene, because that was a night shoot.
Yeah.
I think we were definitely running low on time because I think it took us a while to not to get there, but for them to get it all prepared. We were kind of waiting there for a while. I think also filming maybe one of the school scenes when we were running down the hall, chasing after him to the library. That was the last scene that we all shot together. And so, we were all running. I looked like such a dork running. But when we were all running, I think that was the last one because we were trying to all get it right. Because some of us were maybe tripping a little bit, some of us were laughing running. And so I think that was the only one where we didn't have a lot of time to film it, along with the Balboa because it was a night shoot.
So the last scene was just you running. It wasn't the fight? Or was it both?
The last scene that we shot was, at least that I can remember, was us all running down to the library. So it wasn't the fight. We shot that on different days where, we shot the library on one day and then we shot us running to the library on a separate day. And I remember after running that way, we were all breathing heavily. Are we done? And they go, that's a wrap on all of them, or some of them. I think it was me. I think Griffin had some more to do, but it was me, Jaden, and AJ who were all wrapped.
Okay. Now, on your Instagram, you posted pictures like, behind the scenes, like at the on the outside of the All Valley tournament set with, like all the different cast members. So were you there just taking photos or were you going to be in that scene?
Actually, we were there because we were giving thanks to all the producers and the cast for letting all the kids be in there, and just thanking them for making such a great show and thanking all the crew for working so hard. And so we got someone brought all these cupcakes or made all these cupcakes, and we all brought them. We put up signs, stuff like that, and cast and crew would come by, pick up a cupcake, eat it, and it was really cool because there were a lot of cast members there, a lot of people that I wanted to meet when I first watched the show. And so being able to meet only some of them was a great experience. Being able to take a picture with a lot of them was also a great experience.
So that was the final day shooting for the whole show, or at least for the tournament.
I don't know, actually. I think it may have been. I think so, actually, because a lot of them were saying this is the last day. We got to just get this done. I think that's what a lot of them were saying. I'm not 100% sure, but that may have been the last day that they were shooting. I think we wanted to get it done. We wanted to give them the cupcakes and give them the celebration. So that was the last time that we could do that.
Well, I'm glad you got to go there because I know sometimes like, actors, once they finish their stuff, they have to go home no matter what. So I'm glad you got to be there for the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't stay that entire time. I didn't watch them film the tournament or anything. I just stayed for that time. That was where I met Una. She was hanging out with all the kids. I also met Nate and I met Owen, who we all hung out with in the group, and so that was really fun to do.
Who else did you meet like from the main cast? I know you met Sholo.
Yes, I met Sholo. I met Peyton List a few times. There were some times where she would walk while I was getting my hair done in one of the trailers. She would walk in and we would say hi to each other. I know that happened a few times. And then at Sholo, I took a picture with him. I can't remember. Well, I said hi to everyone who would come and get a cupcake. So that wasn't really a meeting, but it was still, something. I can't remember. I said hi to Ralph Macchio once, actually, when he was getting a COVID test. That was really cool to say hi to him. I'm trying to think. Anyone else? I think I said hi to a few other people. If it comes back, I'll tell you.
Did you have the chance to see Thomas Ian Griffith or no?
I didn't actually. When I was driving home from that cupcake celebration thing, I saw him walking with Ralph. They were walking down to the place. Actually, I remembered something now. I met Mary Mouser while we were on set one time when we were walking back. She happened to be there, and she was wearing a mask, and I thought, that looks a lot like Mary Mouser. And I figured out that it actually was her. And so that was really interesting.
Did you say hi?
Her. Huh?
Oh, you spoke to her?
Yeah, I spoke to her. We were walking up some stairs, and I got to speak with her. And I thought she was helping, and so I went to Jaden and went, that girl looks a lot like Mary Mouser. Like, what a coincidence! Someone who's helping is looks a lot like her. And he goes, no, that is her. That is, and I was thinking, I met Mary Mouser. Wow, you know.
Yeah. So when you meet them, do you tell them like who you are, like what role you're playing on the show?
I didn't tell Mary because I thought she was a crew, so I thought, oh, she knows. You know, she's here. She's filming. She knows exactly what we're doing. I didn't have time to tell Sholo because I knew he was about to go in and film some of the scenes.
Yeah, that must be cool for them. Like, you know, like maybe like Sholo, he's watching the show and he's like, oh, that's Brock. Like, I met him.
Yeah. Now, oh, can you imagine?
Like not knowing who your character was gonna be.
Yeah, yeah, and that would be really cool. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Did you think like maybe there was any possibility that your character would be like an audience spectator at the All Valley tournament, considering Griffin, Anthony was there, you know, Kenny was fighting. Was there any, did you ever think that might be possible?
I thought that would have been pretty cool if we were there and we were all watching, and maybe if there could have been another confrontation. I thought it would be really cool if there would be another confrontation, because I didn't realize until I watched it, because I didn't know anything that happened at the All Valley. And so when I watched it, that moment when Kenny and Dallas, not Kenny and Dallas, those are the same people, Kenny and Anthony meet in the locker room. I thought it would be really cool if we happened to be there with Griffin. And, you know, we were just talking to him, watching, helping support his sister or whatever. And then Dallas walked in and, you know, maybe a confrontation happened there.
Yeah, that would be cool. What do you think? Okay, so if they were there, what do you think like Zack would, well, let's go back a little bit. After the library scene, because we don't see Zack after the library scene, what do you think like is going through his head? Is he maybe now regretting what he did to Kenny? Is he angry for what Kenny did and wants revenge? What do you think like his mindset is?
I think he probably feels really embarrassed and ashamed that he lost. You know, it was 1 against
4.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 1 against 4. And so, was it 1 against? No, yeah, it was 1 against 4. And so he probably feels embarrassed and ashamed, and probably beats himself up about it. That's my guess. Say anything.
Okay, so now going back to the tournament, if there was a confrontation with Kenny and the bullies, what do you think like Zack's reaction to Kenny would be? Would he be like scared of him? Would he be wanting to get revenge? Would he be apologetic?
Honestly, I think there would be a part of him that would be a lot like Mary Mouser's character. Do you remember when she has that fight with TORY and she's scared? She's scared of her?
Yeah.
After that whole entire school fight, I think there might be a part of Zack that's pretty scared of Kenny, especially because now he's in a tournament. He's doing all this fighting. He's been training a lot. I think there's a part of him that wants to get revenge, but I also think there's a part of him that is pretty scared. That would be pretty scared.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like I kind of wish there were some more people like watching the tournament, like some more spectators who we were like familiar with.
Yeah.
Like I thought Leah should have been there to support Kenny.
That would have been cool.
But then at the same time though, like you would have seen Kenny, you know, get totally beat up by Robbie. You know, it kind of
Yeah. Yeah, that could have been a turning point for Leah and Kenny's. Yeah, for Leah and Kenny, because maybe Kenny or Leo would go and support Kenny. They might have a moment or something. I thought that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I also want to talk to you about your music, because you have done a couple original songs, which is really cool. I checked them out on Apple Music, and I'm just really impressed. Like, they're so good. So, what made you get into songwriting, and like what inspired you to make these original songs?
Well, I loved playing piano and I loved playing drums, and I thought I should maybe do something with this. I should get a software. I should start creating music, see what I can do, because I also grew up and still use sometimes GarageBand, and so I loved creating little things on that. And so we got this new thing called Logic Pro X, and I would use that, and I would create little things, and then I just started creating songs and mixing them as best as I can, even though I'm still a little bit of still in the learning mixing, still in the learning process, pretty new to it. And so I think just listening to music and also thinking of songs to write, and I would write them, I'd play them, and I'd put them there, I'd record them, and I'd do everything I can. And then when it's all done, I would feel really proud, and I would think, wow, I want to do that more.
Yeah. So can you talk about like the original songs that you wrote?
Yeah. There were a few that I wrote. There was It'll Be Okay. That was one I just started free writing, and I was writing about, being inside during COVID and being quarantined, having to sit there but it'll be okay. That's why the song is called that. Let's see, Sunset Walk. I love Sunset Walk. That reminded me of where I used to live, LA, because there are a lot of beautiful sunsets there. And it's great to walk while looking at the sunset, whether it's a walk on the beach, just a normal hike or anything like that. And so I wrote about that. I wrote some music that reminded me of LA. I took some chords and I put them together, and I thought, let me see, what if does this sound like a sunset? Does it sound familiar? Does it sound nostalgic? What does it sound like? And then Scarlet, which is one that I wrote for my celebrity crush, was one where I really wanted to write it because I had an idea in mind of a song, and I thought, why not I write it about Scarlet? And it was about Scarlet Estevez, who has been a celebrity crush of mine for a long time. And I started writing it, but whenever we would record it, it didn't sound right. So that was the first song where we went to a professional dude who mixed it for us. He let me record it at his studio, and he mixed it, and that's why it has pretty good quality with the song. And so yeah, that one was about my celebrity crush, and I like that song, and
yeah, that's my favorite of yours. It's
really?
it's so catchy. I love it.
Yeah, I really enjoy that song. I like that song.
Yeah, I want to learn the chords to it and play it. It's so it's so catchy. That's how you know you wrote a good song, when like it just stays in your head.
Yeah.
Do you plan on making any more songs in the future and releasing them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love, especially now that I'm getting used to it and getting more ideas. I'm doing this. I've always I like orchestral songs that are really epic and could be in a movie scene. I love those songs, which is why I love the Cobra Kai soundtrack season 2 during the fight.
Yes.
Oh, that is so good. It tells a story. It has a story to it. And even season 3 and season 4 and season 1, all of them, all of those major fight scenes, really good music. Really good music.
My heart is like it, I am so glad that, because a lot of times, like, actors are just acting, but I'm so glad that you like appreciate the music, because I love the Cobra Kai music. So you're a big fan of the soundtrack, Zack Robinson and Leo Barenberg's soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes. I love one that I find really catchy is Carol of the Cobras.
Da 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 da.
Da, 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 da. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's a great one. I like the Christmas theme, but also kind of scary. Right? It's like Christmas rock, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. So what other themes from the soundtrack stand out to
Soundtrack.
you?
Well, my brother is obsessed. He likes the one where Hawk and Robbie are fighting.
Oh, Shirts Off. There's a couple. Was it Shirts Off?
Maybe I don't know which one it is. I'll have to ask him about that. But he loves that one. We were doing a Nerf battle a few days ago, and he started playing that, and I was like, "Is this from Cobra Kai? Because it sounded familiar." And he goes, "Yeah, it's the one where
That's so funny.
Hawk and Robbie fight." I think I like, what is it called? Hallway Hellscape.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good one. And then, oh, what is it called? It's when Hawk is chasing Demetri in the computer lab.
Oh, that's like, oof, that's part of
Chase or something.
Nah, that's part of that whole school.
Yeah, so they do several songs for one story, which is what I also really like.
I forgot the specific name, but I know exactly. Like
Hawks. Yeah, that guitar that's playing in the background, and then you got the drums. Oh, what is it called?
I gotta search it up now. I gotta search it up. That I love that theme. And then also speaking of Hallway Hellscape, did you hear it in season 4 during the prom fight? They used a rendition of Hallway Hellscape.
Really?
Yes. Okay.
In which part?
So when Miguel and Sam are fighting Tori and Robbie, they use that a version of Hallway Hellscape with and it's so sick. It's another rendition of it.
I'll have to watch it again. I want to see. I love connecting music, especially when they use renditions.
Yeah, and it's, by the way, it's called Hawk's Prey.
Right, I knew it was Hawk something.
Yeah,
they have a song called Dark Hawk, and so I kept on having that in my mind. But it's Hawk's Prey. Yeah.
Yeah, the soundtrack is unbelievable.
Completely. Yeah.
That's so cool. I was gonna ask you if you were a fan of it. That's great.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love listening to those dramatic, those epic soundtracks, because you can it really expands your imagination, because you can think of several things. It also inspires you. If you are a movie creator or a TV show creator, you can listen to one song and you think, I thought of a story to that. Wait, that story could become something bigger and bigger and bigger, and you could create your entire thing out of that.
That's honestly crazy that you just said that, because literally all the time I listen to music, different songs, even songs that I don't even know, and I think maybe how could this song be used in a montage or in a movie, and then it inspires a whole movie idea.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really great point. And I'm curious, because you kind of have a theme with the whole basketball ghost.
Yeah. I know. I found it's called.
There's basketball, and then there's Ghost Boy. Those are the two.
Really, I have one called Ghost Boy.
Oh well, technically that's when Kenny's talking to Leah, but it's still the same song.
Yeah, it's the same kind of tune.
It's the same tune.
Yeah, so. I remember. I think it's Balboa. Yeah, it's Balboa Park After Dark.
Oh, that's a different one, I think.
Yeah, that's a different one. But that's when I say, "What did you just call us?" And then that bam goes in.
Yeah. And that music we heard before, after we heard that music before, in season, I can't remember the specific scene, but I recognize that piece. Sometimes they like to kind of take similar elements, tweak
some things, take a song and then change it and put it here.
Yeah, but I love the basketball theme though. That's my favorite theme.
Yeah.
You know,
also listen to that one. What is that one called? Is it just called Basketball?
It's literally called Basketball.
I'll listen to that one.
So it's played a couple times. It's played when you guys are playing basketball.
Yeah.
It's played when Kenny's talking to Leah at the high school. And then it's also played at the very opening of episode 7 at the library. It's kind of like bum ba-da-dum bum.
Is it the one that sounds like, you mean when we are doing the library fight?
Oh no, the very opening scene.
Oh, the beginning. Oh, right. I think I know
Yes.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
When
When Leah
when she drops her books.
drops her book, yeah.
But oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I spoke to Zack and Leo, the composers, and they kind of like designated that as like the middle school theme.
Ah.
So yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I don't know if that specific theme would like, it's not necessarily for like when you're bullying Kenny, because it's a very heartfelt scene, but like, you know, if it's like playing basketball, it's used. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I also saw on your IMDb that you are interested in like directing, making your own movies along with acting. Is that?
Oh yeah,
right?
I love, even though I haven't made obviously anything like professional or anything. When I was younger, I would always ask my brother and sister, "You want to make a movie?" I don't know. I love horror movies, so I would always ask them if they want to make a horror movie. And we do our own thing. We'd create a horror movie. It was terrible, but it was always a great thing to do. And I finally got a camera, and I use it a lot, and I like to film certain things, edit certain things, and make it into a movie. Fun little movie. Not anything I've ever posted a lot of the time, except for if I'm doing a video for school or anything like that.
Okay. So in the future, do you hope to maybe take it like, you know, to the next step and actually pursue it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think because a lot of actors are producers and directors a lot of the time, and I think that'd be really cool to do. Actor, director. I think that'd be cool to do.
Would you want to be more of a director or a writer or both?
Cool. Well, I like creating stories because then you're kind of in charge of what's going on, and you can change a whole entire storyline with just a pen. So I like creating things. I think I'd rather direct, because directing, it's the whole, you get to see the whole entire thing happen. You get to witness everything. You're the one that gets to call what happens, when happens. And I really enjoy that. I really like that.
Yeah, it's like I find it like hard to believe that, you know, there are movies where the writer and director are two completely different people, because like how could like you write something and like be so like passionate about it, like, and you have this vision and, you know, it's your creation, but then you're giving it to someone else to direct. That's what they did with Karate Kid. What do you think of that?
I mean, personally, I don't know if that's because if you had the chance, obviously you'd want to hire Steven Spielberg for something,
Yeah.
or Tim Burton for something. But as someone like me, I would love to create something and then on top of it direct, because then I know exactly what my vision was in the first place. And so I can actually see where everything is and notice, oh no, I wanted that. I thought it'd be pretty cool if I added this here and then put that there and had him say this like this. And it's a really cool thing to do, having to create it and then direct it at the same time.
Yeah. So as like someone who's into directing and, you know, the behind the scenes stuff, as an actor, like when you're acting on screen, do you kind of like pay attention to like how they're directing you, how they're filming you? Like does that sort of stuff like kind of influence you?
Oh yeah, I always watch the directors, and I watch the camera guys do their thing, and I just kind of sit by the side looking, seeing what they're doing, what it looks like, and hearing the director's commands and saying, "Oh, what does someone do when she or he says that? What's going on there?" You know?
Yeah, you gotta be quick on your feet. Everyone's looking at you, the director.
Yeah. You gotta really be there. You gotta be present. You gotta understand what's going on and when it's going on.
So what's something with like maybe that behind the scenes aspect, you know, directing, filming, lighting, like costume, all that. Like what's like probably what was the most like surprising thing that you learned being on the set of Cobra Kai that you didn't know before?
You mean something I learned?
Yeah, like maybe like because you're into the behind the scenes stuff. Is there anything that like, you know, you saw them do it and you're like, "Oh, like that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that you do that as a director, as a camera operator."
Yeah, yeah. Well, there were sometimes I learned a lot more when I got older, but being on Cobra Kai, I actually learned about more about how stunt doubles do their thing and how it works and how they come on set and they do the thing and how like the caution they use, everything that they have with them. It's pretty interesting to watch, along with seeing how many oh, I know. See how many takes it takes to get one scene. Even the shortest little scene, whether it's someone walking by and saying hi and then walking and giving a weird look, that can take so much time. And the reason is because they want to get different angles at different times. So one could be you saying hi, and then the other is you walking forward. And then they maybe want a back shot, and then sometimes you don't get it right. Maybe you trip, maybe you don't say the line right. And so you take multiple scenes. And it makes me think, how long does it take to film a scene, a monologue scene, or a fight scene? That takes a while. When we did that, when we did our fight scene, it took less time because there wasn't as much moves. But something like the tournament, that took days to film.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fighting, a lot of choreography, a lot of things going on.
That tournament seems like impossible because like, yeah, as you said, choreography, camera angles, they have like cranes where the cameras are on. They also have to make sure everyone in the background is acting, the spectators getting all these coverages,
getting all these angles, and everyone there as well. You see how many people were in that audience? That was a lot of people.
Yeah, and even like when, I don't know, if Sam and Tori are fighting, everyone in the background, they're acting. Even though they're not in the fight. You got to be into this fight. Like you got to be acting.
Yeah, you got to be watching. You got to give those eye movements and, whoa, what? Why is she doing that? What's going on there?
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious. I'm curious because you said, you know, like, you know, sometimes it takes multiple takes. The LaPusso one, did it take like maybe a couple takes to get that right? Like when did you get that word, the mannerism of how you would say it?
I think I would definitely play around with that. That was something I actually didn't know that was gonna get so huge.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to go bananas. When I first said it, there's a certain thing, like there's a certain way. You know, you can't do it too lazy, but not too strong. It's not LaPusso, and it's also not LaPusso. It's right there in the middle with LaPusso. It's a sharp kind of P is like a B, and it's kind of like beatboxing when you do a. You gotta say LaPusso when you.
LaPusso.
Yeah.
Did I get it?
A little more stronger on the P. P.
Okay, wait. I need the whole line. Okay, whatever. LaPusso.
Perfect. Yeah.
Really?
You add that P in there, and then you go after LaPusso, and it gives that kind of attitude along with anger and just completely dismissiveness. That's a word.
I love this right now. Like I think you just gave everybody this was like a lesson. Like
this is a tutorial how to say LaPusso correctly.
you should like do something on your Instagram, like a tutorial. Like, exactly what
how
you just
say LaPusso. LaPusso. Yeah.
But I like how you broke it down. Like it's not angry, it's not LaPusso. It's not soft.
Yeah. It's not, and that also not only dictation saying LaPusso, but it's tone as well. You can't say it all happy, but you can't say it too strong. Like I said, it's that in the middle kind of out of box thing. It's got attitude, it's got anger, it's got, I don't even know how to describe it. It's got dismissiveness, it's got toxicity as well. It's got a lot of things in there.
I love this, and part of me just wants to have like a 2-hour conversation on how to say
yeah. As they like you said, LaPusso. Let's break it down. L and the Greek origin.
Like a full discussion. Just
Yeah.
let me ask you, if you knew like that, like if somehow you knew that that word was gonna be like blowing up, like, you know, if you knew like how much fans would be saying it, do you think it would have kind of influenced your performance? Maybe you would have said it another way, like, oh, like now, like this one word is like really important.
I think I would definitely maybe add it some other times. Maybe add it if I knew it was going to be this popular, because it's a really popular saying now.
Yeah.
I think maybe sometimes I would have changed it up, added it another way, or done it all the same, but done it different at the same time. So all the same, but different as well. But I think there could have been times where I could have added that anywhere, really. I think that would have been cool if I added that as a comedy choice or a drama choice, anything really.
Yeah. I love that so much, that line. And with your character, you know, you have that confidence to you, you know, you're like, your character is obviously a bully, but you know, like you really exceed a lot of confidence. I'm curious, how did Josh and Hayden like direct you? What did they tell you, like how to portray your character, and what kind of stuff did maybe you do on your own to bring Zack to life?
Well, a lot of them, they would tell me, you know, because what I was doing it based off of instinct, how bullies act and such. So a lot of them would just say, keep on doing what you're doing. Maybe they would. One thing I did, which I understand why they took it out, but one thing I did was when I said bust out something like karate, the first thing I actually said was bust out something like karate, making fun of Griffin a little bit, you know, just kind of using it as a pun and making fun of him, like it can't be that good, but you know, use it, karate. And so I did that. They said just do karate, so I went with that. But that's what they said, one thing to do. But I get why they did that. You know, the karate, it's karate. It's, you know, respect for the karate and stuff. But yeah, there wasn't much except for keep on doing what you're doing and really be Zack. Really be the bully. Really hate Kenny. And really just have that energy about you that really doesn't want to be with anybody, and just dismissive, give weird looks, all that stuff.
Yeah. So you improvise like that, like the karate line. That was all you.
Yeah.
Were there any?
Yeah, not the line, but the way I said karate.
Okay. Yeah, I that would have been funny. I actually like that, but I do see why they cut it out, because like, you know, you're in the basketball game, like, come on, like bust out some of that karate. Like,
yeah.
You're staying like kind of serious.
Yeah. It's not really a comedy line.
Yeah.
But it could be comedy, but I don't think that's what they were going for. So they told me to say karate because I'm genuinely mad. Obviously, I want to win. I want to get revenge on Dallas.
It's crazy how like those little details could change the whole lot. It wouldn't change the scene, but it changes the whole like demeanor of like the interaction, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And what I find interesting, and I think this is very relatable, like to a lot of people, maybe, I don't know, maybe you yourself have related to this, or you've seen other people relate to this, when Anthony's like, I can't, like those moves cause permanent brain damage. You know, obviously he doesn't know any karate, but
yeah, he doesn't know anything, so he's kind of making an excuse to.
Yeah, it's like, but because his family, you know, Samantha, Daniel, his dad is the karate kid, and I'm sure that's how, you know, Zack thinks he's just as good. So I'm curious, like it's like that theme of maybe living up to the expectations of your parents or your family. Like, was that theme like, maybe because you're in a family of actors, have you ever felt like pressure of like kind of living up to that expectation?
Not at all. Not at all. I feel like, I mean, I chose to do this. It wasn't like, oh, I gotta be like my mom and dad. I gotta do what they gotta do. No, that was definitely because they told all of my siblings. They told me, they told all my siblings that, you know, you do what makes you happy. If you want to become an astronaut, if you want to become a firefighter, whatever you want to do, you do. Yeah, as long as you're happy and as long as you are successful and you are doing what you want to do, you go ahead and do that. And so that really helped. But either way, I would have absolutely became an actor. I definitely think having parents that act, that influenced me a lot as well.
Yeah. That's awesome that they're supportive. That's huge.
Yeah, yeah. Big help in my career for sure.
Yeah. So you said you didn't watch Cobra Kai before, or you got the role having not watched Cobra Kai.
Yeah, yeah. I got the role, and the first day on set, they said, "Have any of you seen Cobra Kai?" I was the only one that said no, and I was really embarrassed. And I kind of just thought, "Oh, this is great." I feel kind of humiliated here. I'm the only one that hasn't watched the show. All of the other kids watched it. All of the kids love it. And obviously, Griffin has watched it. He's in the show. He's been since the first season. And so I was the only one. And I felt really bad. And so I went home and I watched it and became obsessed. I binged all of it. And I was, next episode, next episode, next episode. I introduced it to all my family. My family loves it.
Wait, how long did it take you to watch the 3 seasons?
3 seasons? That didn't take me that long. 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks, maybe a week even. Because it's basically 15 hours, I think, if I'm doing my math correctly. But yeah. Because it's 30 minutes, it's only 30-minute episodes, which really helps. It's a big help.
Yeah.
So, you know, like you said, it's 5 times 5 times 5, because, you know, I'm trying to do the math. I'm trying to explain the math. I somehow get what I'm saying. But I think it's 15 hours. And so splitting that within the week, I mean, I could have basically binged that in a whole entire day because there's only 24 hours in a day. Am I saying this wrong? I feel like I'm getting the math wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
They have different, but they're all basically 30 minutes. So it's 15 hours. 15 hours-ish. Maybe 14 few seconds. But yeah, it was pretty easy to finish the entire 3 seasons.
So when like, how many times did you film like before not having seen the show? Because like you said you hadn't seen it on your first day, but you finished it like 2 weeks later. So like, were you still filming scenes while watching like the old seasons?
Sometimes, yeah. I think like the first, the second, and maybe the third scene I did, I was still binging the show. Maybe the third, I was kind of ending it. But yeah, around then.
I have to ask, did you see Anthony in season 1? And like, because obviously Griffin looks totally different now. Like, is that how you kind of first saw him in season 1? Like when you were watching the show?
Well, I met Griffin and I knew he played Anthony. And so I met Griffin and I was excited because I knew he was in the first season. And so I watched it and I saw his first episode where he comes down, I think, and they're eating breakfast.
Yeah.
And I went, "That's Griffin. Oh my gosh, what? That's Griffin." And I went insane. I thought, wow, that's Griffin. I can't believe that.
Yeah, he's definitely changed so much from seasons 1 and 2 to 3 and then to 4. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love how Johnny even like brings it up. Wait, are you the son? That's his line.
Wait, really? He says that?
Yeah, so it was episode 2. Because Johnny and Anthony had an interaction in season 1. They had a really funny
when he's eating breakfast, yeah.
Yeah, like my dad could have killed you. Like yeah. Well,
he said, "Do you guys have any ketchup?" It was, "Fun at yourself." He walks away.
Yeah. So then, like, and that was such a great interaction. It was only one scene, and season 4.
That dynamic's great. Yeah.
Do you remember the scene in season 4 or no?
Not really. What is the scene where they had an interaction again?
So it was episode 2. it's the funniest thing. So Anthony comes down and he's like to Johnny, like, what are you doing here? And then Johnny's like, I was invited. Wait a second. Are you the son? When you switch to Whopper Juniors?
Oh, I think I remember that. I think I remember that. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that interaction between them, both of them.
Yeah, that's a great dynamic, great chemistry as well.
So did you get spoiled on anything because you were in the show? Like when you were like, I'm just like that. I've never heard that. That just fascinates me so much. Like when you're watching and you're like, oh, like that. I just watched that in season 2. Like any of that?
Honestly, it was crazy watching it and being married to that show. Because I would watch it and I'd be like, I'm gonna be in that. I'm gonna be in that show. And I would get really ecstatic. And when we first watched it, my sister and brother and mom and dad were all like, you're gonna be in that. You're gonna be in that show. And I went, I know. And it's insane. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm loving it. I love it.
Did you watch Karate Kid by any chance before?
I haven't watched it. And I'm going to watch it. I will watch it before the week ends. I definitely need to watch it. I actually saw the one with Jaden Smith. I saw the one with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. I don't remember it that well because I was pretty young. But watching Cobra Kai and watching all the flashbacks, it feels like I almost watched it because they really explain it well with all the flashbacks and such.
Yeah, and it's funny because your character in particular has a lot of Easter eggs to the original movie.
Yeah, especially the fence scene, the chasing.
Yeah. There's the fence scene, and then there's also, you say in episode 7 when Kenny's with Leah, and then like you're talking to Anthony, you're like, looks like everyone's trying something new. That was a line I believe one of the Cobras from the Karate Kid said to Johnny when he saw Johnny with Allie in
Oh, that would make sense. I think I remember that. I think they showed that flashback once.
Yeah. Like where he's like, hey, Johnny, take a right. Look, everyone's trying something new. So that was,
Yeah.
It's cool. Like you have a couple because you're like that. The people who said that line, like they were like the number 2 bullies, and you're like that number 2.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm curious. What is it? What's that like to? Because you're not technically, in a way, like Anthony. I don't know. Like when you're looking at that group, Anthony, he's the main character. And in a way, you're kind of like, his like second guy, kind of like Brooks to Kyler, and then you have like maybe Dutch to Johnny and the Karate Kid. What was
exactly? Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like being like that kind of like that number 2 who's kind of worse than the number 1?
I like it actually. Yeah. I like it because even though I am the number 2 to Griffin, it's still fun to peer pressure him and stuff. So I am basically his sidekick because he's the main. He basically has control over all of us in a way if he wanted to. I think if his character stood up and actually fought for himself, he would be able to silence us all. Even Zack, how much of a big mouth Zack is. And so yeah, being the number 2, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. So your arc, like the whole middle school storyline, it was such a big part of this season. It was a whole new story element brought in. Why do you think it was like important to include this whole new storyline to season 4 in particular?
Well, Dallas is obviously a huge part. And that gave season 4 wouldn't be the same without Dallas's storyline. And so Dallas's storyline is influenced by his middle school experience. And so bringing in the middle schoolers, that also gives a relate to all the middle schoolers that are watching. So, it's adults and then it's high school. And so the high schoolers and the adults can relate to the show. And then in the 4th season, it's middle school. So now the middle schoolers who are watching it, because I know there are a bunch, now they can relate to it. And they understand.
Yeah, that's a great point because even though Cobra Kai is like, I mean, they curse like like your character, like every character curses, like, and there's some dirty language, but there are still a lot of kids like on my YouTube channel, like it's kids watching it. So I like how they do reach out to that younger, even younger generation.
Yeah.
It's really great. Um, so have you gotten like any, because you said you had people like messaging like I hate your character, but like were there some people who actually like, you know, like what was the positive reception? Like did people still, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I've gotten a lot of people. I've gotten a lot of fan mail, surprisingly. And there have been a lot of people just saying, "I love you so much. Please respond. How's it going? Is your day good? I love your character, Zack. Your character, Zack, is so good. I really want to see him again. Your character was so good. I love you so much. You're the best. I love you. I love you." And there's a bunch of these things, and I love it. I'm
Yeah,
loving it.
it's great.
And I always, whenever I get a new message request, I always look through and I look what they're saying. And it's great, you know, because even when the people hate you, that means you're doing a good job with being a bully. But when the people love you, that also kind of means you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
That means they love your character. They want to see more.
That's so cool. I'm so glad to hear that. That's just awesome because you really did do a great job.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. And I know we were talking about like, you know, so you know, having not watched Cobra Kai when you got the role, like how did you find out about the role and how did you land it?
Well, we got the audition, and I kind of just played a bully. I played not so much generic, kind of generic, but not so much generic, even though it's kind of impossible. But I got the audition, and I played a bully, but I made him unique, tried to make him unique in my own kind of way. You know, because again, I'm not physically intimidating, but I tried to make it mentally intimidating and really have a threat in my mind when saying, "Come on, do it." And maybe in my mind, I'm saying, "Do it or else I'll do this."
Yeah.
And so in my mind, there's a threat there, but then I'm saying some words. But what I really mean is, do it or else there's something coming your way.
So you auditioned with the Balboa Park scene?
I auditioned with the bus scene, and then yes, I think I did do the Balboa Park scene. I think I did. I did a lot of the scenes. I didn't do the library fight scene. I didn't do the library scene in the beginning, but I did do the. I did the bus scene, and then I also did the Balboa Park scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And did you get the role right from there or did you have a callback?
I think I got the role right from there, which is really rare. Maybe I did do a callback. I don't really remember it, but I think I got the role right from there. I think I auditioned, and then a few days later, not so long, but maybe three or 4 days later, they gave me the news.
Oh wow. And then how many days after that did you go to Atlanta to film?
After that, I think it was a little bit of a while. I think it was maybe. I think we filmed in February, so I think we filmed around here, around this time, and I think maybe auditioned in January, maybe because I remember being on set on February 22nd because I just found a picture in my camera roll where I was on set, and so yeah, it was in February, and I would go back every once in a while, February, and I think through March as well, through March and maybe a little bit through April.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
So having not known about the show, like when you were filming, did you maybe like do some research on like, you know, the fan side of it? Like how many people were watching the show? Like what kind of stuff in the community was going on?
Yeah, so we have Netflix, and my sister, she hasn't watched, she watched the show now, but beforehand she hadn't watched it. But when I got it, she goes, "Brock, that's like one of the most popular shows on Netflix." And I went, "I know, it's insane." And I read up, and there were, what is it, like 2 million people that have watched that show?
I don't know the number, but
It's,
A
it's
lot of
something. It's something pretty big. It was the #1 show on Netflix
lot of
at a point, even during season 4. It's the #1 on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it was #1 for like maybe like a week, and then it was still in the top 10 for like a month.
Yeah, yeah. It usually
It
says top. It was in the first one for over a month. No, sorry, for like a week or so, and then still in the top 10. Is it still in the top 10?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Yeah,
I
it
don't think
probably
so.
got switched out because Ozark came out.
Yeah.
Ozark came out recently, and a bunch of other shows came out.
Yeah, like yeah, all the new shows come out and those always go right in the top 10 of that time. Um
Yeah,
it's unfortunate because like you know, it's like in a way it's cool to see all the episodes at once, but then also when all the episodes drop, the hype goes away after like a month. Less.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I know some of the Netflix shows they do like 5 episodes and then the next week 5 episodes. That'd be what do you think about that? Kind of spacing out or
Well, I think it's cool to do 5 episodes and then 5 episodes. What I don't like when some TV shows do is one episode every week, one
yeah.
episode every week, one episode, and just one episode every night or whatever, every Sunday night or every Wednesday night, whatever it is. It's just, especially drama shows, because there's usually a twist at the end, and so you're kind of just left to wait there for a week, which is why I usually binge the shows after all the episodes come out, and then wait again, and then all the episodes come out.
Yeah, and there's pluses and minuses to that because it could be a good show, but maybe there's one episode that is kind of lacking, and then in that 1 week, it's all about that episode sucked. Rather than if you just release it all at once, people would be like, "That was a great season."
It was a great season, yeah. And so people after one episode every week, they might see it and they're like, "That sucks." They can't really go on, and they might stop watching.
Yeah.
But if you watch the whole entire season, you keep on binge watching, then you go, "Oh, that was a great season. There was that one rotten apple, but the rest of the season was great."
When did you watch Cobra Kai season 4?
Well, the thing is, we were in LA. We traveled back to LA for a few days because it was winter break. And in the hotel, we didn't have Netflix. Unfortunately, they didn't have Netflix, and we tried to get a Fire Stick. I watched my scenes on the way to the airport because we left on December 31st. So I watched my scenes on the way to the airport, which they were, and I loved them. I loved watching them. I loved the outcome. And so watching them and getting really into it, I wanted to watch the entire season. Unfortunately, before the season even came out, I found out who won. I found out what happened. I found out a lot of what happened, unfortunately.
Man. How'd you find out? Being
social
there?
media. Social media, a lot of social media. I think so. I in Instagram, you go to your search and there's a bunch of suggestions to look for. I usually scroll through those, and there was this one Cobra Kai one, and it showed Hawk screaming with the trophy, and that's when I know, oh, he won. And then I think I saw Peyton also win. And so when I was watching it, it would have been awesome if I was sitting there, sitting on the edge, just thinking, who is going to win this fight? Because you think Miguel is going to win. But then what happened? He twisted. I don't even know what happened. He hurt his back. And so he ended up not winning, unfortunately. And I'm really glad Hawk won. I love Hawk's character for sure. Yeah. He's got a really good, diverse storyline.
Yeah, definitely. You always got to be careful. Like even though, I personally believe it's not right to release photos of spoilers the day of because like people got to watch it. But at the same time, you can't really fault people for doing that because like it's the internet. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I have no one to blame. I can't say, you shouldn't have posted that. Some people didn't watch it. Obviously, I knew there was going to be posts about it. I knew automatically people binge watched. I mean, I had a friend that binge watched that at 5 a.m. and finished before the day was even over. So
who would be
there were a lot of
crazy enough to do
spoilers that got
that?
out. Yeah. I don't know how people do that.
I do that.
You did that, really? Oh, that's gotta be. Was it hard to watch the entire thing?
So, all right. So I've been doing this since season 2. Like because that was when I first got introduced to the show after season 1 came out. So I didn't watch season 1 when it came out. I watched it like literally 2 months after it came out. But then season 2, you know, it was the big. I think season 2 came out because it was back on YouTube. Came out at midnight for me, right? I'm on the East Coast, so it came out at midnight for me. But now Netflix, you know, they release it like LA time, which is 3 hours earlier.
Yeah.
So my bad. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I had to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch it.
Really?
But what I did though was you know, because I have the channel and I'm crazy, I'm a little crazy. I slept on the 30th during the day, you know, like an owl, slept during the day.
Oh, you slept through the day and watched through the night. Yeah.
I woke up at 10 p.m. because I couldn't sleep. I was too excited. 10 p.m. Keep in mind, 3 a.m. is the like premiere, so I really didn't get any sleep. I went live on my channel at 2 a.m. for an hour just before the show. The show comes out at 3 a.m. Watch the show. It's like 9 in the morning, and then I go live again to give a review. And then I also had COVID during this time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm better now. I'm 100% now, but I was so sick.
You even stay alive. That's impressive. I mean, you go live at 2 a.m., watch the whole entire thing till 9 a.m., then go live again and do an entire review.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I was so delirious when I was giving my review, because also it's like so much to comprehend at once. So much to take
definitely.
in.
Especially the ending. That's a lot to comprehend. Like everything, because a lot of things switched. I think the amount of drama that occurred in the season was fantastic. I think 2 scenes that hit me were when Johnny said, "I love you too, Robby," and then Miguel starts sobbing. That was heartbreaking. That was hard to watch because the way he did such a great job with that, him walking away, that was a great scene. And then when Robby broke down to Johnny, my dad doesn't usually you know, he watches shows. He can be a hard critic. So, you know, he watches his shows, and sometimes it'll be a great show, great rating, and it'll be like, you know, it's okay. And he watched that scene. He loves Cobra Kai, but he watched that scene, and he goes, pause it. And he goes, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. And the Robby scene when he breaks down to Johnny.
Yeah.
And our whole entire family went nuts over that scene because that was pretty unexpected.
Yeah.
For Robby to start sobbing and hugging Johnny, especially because of all this tension. And yeah, our whole entire family loved that. We still talk about it.
So when your dad said it was brilliant, was he talking about the writing or the acting or both?
When I think Robby and Johnny's acting together, their chemistry, and then the writing on top of it.
Have you ever had a scene like that where you had to cry on camera?
I've never had a scene where I've had to cry on camera, although I've always wanted to do a scene, even though I'm pretty young. I don't think they do this for such young people. But I've always wanted to have a dramatic monologue scene. If you've ever seen those scenes that are so intense, you know, I always search for best acting scenes. And, you know, I've watched shows like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad and all this stuff. And I've seen that Marriage Story scene with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. That was such a great scene. And then that scene between Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in Revolutionary Race. That's also a fantastic scene. And I've always loved to do those scenes where you're screaming at the top of your lungs, saying a monologue, and it's so deep and it's so real. I've always wanted to do those scenes.
Do you like maybe reenact scenes like at home, just like to get into that practice?
Sometimes, actually. Sometimes I'll be at home and I'll be sitting on the couch or whatever, and I'll just start saying the lines in my head and acting like I'm there and I'm talking to someone and I'm just really enraged and talking to them. And they make it look really easy. But there have been times where I've tried doing it alone, you know, just saying a monologue. It's hard to bring up those feelings and really connect.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
if you had to do an emotional scene where maybe you had to break down like Miguel or Robbie, how do you think, because you've never done that before, how do you think you would approach that?
Well, nothing really, really, really tragic has happened in my life. I haven't had family members that are really close to me that have passed away. So it's hard for me to think of something that's happened to me in my life that really hits that spot. Because obviously I've cried before, I've sobbed before, I've broken down before. But it's hard to access those feelings again because you look back and maybe it wasn't that serious when you think about it, or you look back and you can't access those feelings again. So doing one of those scenes, I think it's easier when something really tragic has happened to you because you can bring that up and you can really feel it. You can feel it happening. Or there are several different methods of that. If you think of something really sad, that could possibly work. I think if the writing was great and I was really in the moment, I think maybe if I were yelling at this person and I saw their emotion as well, I think something would come up in me. Because when I'm doing a self tape with my dad, and I've done some short monologues that aren't too serious with my dad and my mom before, and watching them, I'm yelling at my parents.
Yeah.
And so it feels bad that I'm yelling at them, even though I know it's a part of the craft. I don't start yelling at them. And it's something about me just starts rumbling, and I start getting that lump in my throat. My eyes start tearing up, and I continue with the lines, and it's hard, but it works.
Yeah, that must be tough. And I'm curious because like, you're so close with everyone on set. Were there any times to like, because you have to get in character, you're bullying Kenny, you're this mean kid. Any times where maybe like you're acting with them and like because you guys are all close, like maybe the laughing starts, the smiling starts, and like or
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
were there any moments?
I've definitely laughed during some scenes. I didn't really have many. Oh, I know. I started laughing. They kind of caught this. They kind of caught this there. But it goes along with the scene a little bit. But when I walk in and I say, "Don't," it's okay. He's trapped, and I had a little smirk on my face. And I think that's because I was running and I looked like such a dork running, and I come in and I'm breathing heavily and I go, "It's okay. He's trapped." And I just have to kind of keep that serious face on. You could see it a little bit. You could see me kind of start laughing, but I'm able to control it and hold it in a little bit.
What was it about that line in particular that made you? Oh, because you were running before.
Yeah, I think maybe because I was running before, and then also it, even though it's not that serious of a scene, it's a crazy scene. The lights turn off and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a serious scene, sometimes it can turn uncomfortable, and people just resort to laughing when they're uncomfortable. And so I think just sitting there silent, and I say, don't worry, he's trapped. I think that uncomfiness kind of rose in me, and I started laughing a little bit.
And also, like, to think of it like from your perspective, there's no like dramatic music, so it's like you're in a quiet library.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
So you're
he's
sitting
trapped.
there, and you expect there when doing a fight scene or anything, you expect music. You expect all this stuff going to happen, but you're doing there. I mean, behind the scenes, have you seen superheroes do their stuff behind the scenes?
I haven't.
Okay,
Like,
well, doing flying behind the scenes, sometimes they have wires. But if they're going to do it all CGI, I would be laughing because people have to go, all right, let's do this. And you just have to hold that position. I would be bawling laughing. That would be so awkward and so funny. I mean, you've seen some people do it, and like the Flash, even, they just have to go, and they have to make it look real. And I don't know how, but it's especially with superheroes, because you have magical powers, you can bring things in and act like they actually just came to you. In the end, it looks great though. In the end, it looks great, obviously. But yeah, that's always been a tough thing.
yeah, it just goes to show like how much like music, like how important it is to a scene. And it's funny like when you really think about like some scenes without the music. Like, for example, I saw this funny video online. Are you a Star Wars fan?
No, I never watched it. unfortunately. Never seen Star Wars, yeah.
Oh, you should watch Star Wars. But you said you were a Spielberg fan. Do you watch? How about Indiana Jones or
Oh, I've
Jaws?
watched Indiana Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. And they're making a fifth one.
Yes.
They're making
So
a fifth one. I'm
so
excited to
excited.
see that. I'm excited to see what Harrison's gonna do.
And he's in Star Wars as Han Solo.
Yeah, he's in Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah. So there was a scene in Star Wars. It's like the very end of the movie where like it's kind of like a ceremony, right? Like an award ceremony, and it's all music. Like there's no dialogue, and the music is very triumphant, right?
Oh yeah.
And someone made a video where they took out the music completely. And picture this like big award ceremony where everyone's there watching and there's no music. So it's like you hear like the footsteps and then you hear like like a couple coughs.
Oh yeah. I love when people do that. They add all these sound effects. That would be realistic. You know, they have these people sitting there with the chairs creaking and then the people walking up and maybe just and then saying something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of your scenes, and it's sometimes you just don't recognize it because when you're watching, the music just kind of comes in so naturally. But like the basketball, the Balboa Park, like all of those scenes have music in it. But when you're filming it, it doesn't. So like
It doesn't have music, yeah.
it doesn't
And
have.
it's actually pretty quiet when filming because everyone in the room is completely quiet and it's only you talking. Except for in the basketball, there was a lot of echo. But during Balboa Park, I think my mom took some footage of the filming behind the scenes. It's completely silent.
Yeah.
And some of the outside noise, of course, you know, some trees blowing, whatever.
Do you keep that in mind though? Like that when maybe Kenny calls you an asshole, there's gonna be that like dramatic boom. Like any of the music come to mind when you're acting?
You know, I didn't know what I was expecting. Sometimes I'll think like if I was acting that when I say a certain line, the music is going to start, and so I'll feel really powerful. And then you do it, and you realize that it's just completely silent. There's no music added, and you feel like an idiot. But doing that scene, I didn't know what they were going to do. So they could have added music right at the beginning. They could have added music just during the chase. I didn't know they were going to add music right when I said, "What did you just call us?" I wasn't sure what they were going to do, so I kind of just said the line and put it in perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So on set, did any cast or crew members in particular, because you were a new character to the show, did anyone kind of guide you, show you the ropes in particular?
Not really in terms of acting or in terms of the set.
In terms of like when you got to the set of Cobra Kai, like just show you the ropes in terms of like just being a new character there. Like, you know, there were, you know, maybe the crew members were experienced. Griffin was experienced there.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be Griffin. Griffin would probably we'd go to a certain place and he'd be like, "Oh, you know that this was actually this place and this place, and that actually happens there." And yeah, this used to be from here. So he would tell us a lot of stuff, a lot of history with some of the sets and stuff. So it was interesting to listen to.
Yeah. And obviously in real life, you're not a bully. So
No. In fact, when Dallas arrived on set, I felt bad because especially when he was in that mouse outfit, Dr. Scribblebottoms, I felt so bad.
yeah.
I thought, I bullied this guy. That's something I would do. I would do that. I would go into the woods and dress up as a weird squirrel and start dancing. I had something I would do.
Dr. Scraplass. I love that line.
Scraplass or whatever.
I love that. Like your character's funny without trying to be funny.
Yeah. That's the best kind of comedy when you're funny on accident.
Yeah, and it's just like those little lines, like tell him or Dr. Scraplass, like
tell him or Dr. Scraplass or whatever. You know, you and the funniest part about that is you just throw it away. You know, it's not you don't make a big deal. You don't go Dr. Scraplass. You know, you don't laugh at your own joke. You just kind of throw it away as though you're saying apple. You know, you don't really say anything. You just throw it away and act like it's a normal thing to say in life.
And then you have like you have another good really a good line delivery when when Anthony's like explaining who he is, like, oh, like he's like this guy, he's from this thing, like, and then you're like, how do you know so much? Like the way you say that.
Yeah, how do you know so much? And when I was on set and I said that, Griffin's reaction cracked me up every time because he would be so into it. He'd be talking, da, 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 and he did this and he did that, and then I would say it, and he did this face, he went, you know, like, and he would make an excuse. It was hilarious watching him do that. It's just such a great job with it as well.
Yeah, all you guys. It's cool. You guys are so young, but just the line delivery, the actions, just all of it is really good. And especially with Griffin too, because I thought he was great in season 1, but then after that we didn't get to see too much of him. So I was like, is he still like a good actor? Especially, well, I knew he would be good at acting, but for this to be like his first real like he's really in it in this season, and his acting performance amazing. It's kind of like his first big. He's a
great actor. Yeah,
it was like his first real big season where he had to, he was just kind of the joke in season 1.
Yeah, the kid who always plays his Nintendo and eats and drinks stuff and doesn't really care. He's just lazy, sits on the couch a lot, doesn't leave the house. That couch potato.
Yeah, and then season 4, he had to really access a lot of emotions. I thought probably his best acting was when he had that scene with Daniel in his bedroom when Daniel took the iPad and smashed it. Dad, are you insane?
Yeah. He was screaming like, Dad, are you insane? Are you kidding me? Yeah.
So good. I mean, like, that's how you would react. Imagine like your dad just takes your iPad.
Oh yeah, and just completely snaps it in half. You're paying for that. Why would you break your own face?
That's what I thought. I was like, bro, that's coming out of your check.
That's yours. I mean, I know I had a special connection to it, but that's your money. You told me not to waste money, but you just kind of did.
You know what would have been funny if, because he did this in season 1, it would have been funny if, like, after Daniel did that, Anthony's like, Alexa, order a new iPad.
Yeah.
Because he did that.
Alexa, order a new iPad. No, don't do that.
Alexa, parental override.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't work. So what was it like? Because you also had to do a couple stunts. So what was it like working with Don Lee and Ken Bearfield on your stunt scenes?
Great. I didn't have to do many stunts. My stunt double did a lot, but being able to knee, I need the guy that was pretty cool. It was my first time working with a stunt double. So I was able to knee him, and then we did the running scene, and there was a lot of stunts being done. I didn't get pushed into the bookshelf. That would have hurt severely. But that was my stunt double who did that, and she did a fantastic job with that. But yeah, it was great watching stunt doubles along with doing some of the stunts.
Was it kind of like freaky seeing like a clone of yourself wearing the same way?
Yes. I saw her. I was walking by. I think I was going to get some lunch. I was walking by, and I saw her, and I went to my mom and said, Mom, that's my stunt double. She looks exactly like me. I mean, she was identical. She was wearing my outfit. She had my hair on point, and it was scary watching her just walking like a normal day, just walking around, and I would think, like, that's literally me. It's insane.
I can only imagine. It's like imagine like, they pull a prank on you and you're like, like, I don't know, like you're in bed or something. And then like I don't know, just see like another version of yourself. Like
another version. Yeah, you would think you're in a dream. You wake up and you just see them across the room. Now, what? And you just see yourself. What's going on here?
You could like, pull like a prank on your family, like have your stunt double, like maybe like, be you, like walk into your dining room for breakfast and like have them not say anything.
Yeah. Just walking in with a hoodie on.
Yeah.
And just, what are you doing? They take the hoodie off. Oh, that's not my son. What are you doing?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie, the horror movie Us?
Yes.
That's what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. Just think to yourself, they got that one scene where they're all staring at each other. They're all protecting each other. Thinking, okay, there are doppelgangers in our house. They look identical to us. What do we do?
They should make like a spin-off like of Brock and his identical
Yeah.
persona.
Yeah. The stunt double. That's what we call it. Bunch of people reacting to their stunt doubles. Just watching them walk across the street like
That'd be like wait, like a social experiment kind of thing, or a movie.
yeah, that could be a social experiment actually.
That would be like a good prank. Like imagine like, you know, it'd be funny like if like maybe like your best friend, you like hired someone else like to dress up exactly like them in their same clothes, and then they came out.
Yeah, they put on the exact hair, they got a wig, they did all this stuff. And then they walk outside and they go next to the person, they're just walking. And they're dressing like me. And then they see their hair and stuff and they go, oh, that is me.
Oh my God. That's my 2.0 version.
Yeah.
So I got a couple more questions for you, and then we have a very special surprise for the fans for the end. So I'm curious, did any scenes or lines from season 4 that you were in did they get cut from the final product?
Any scenes I was in that got cut?
Scenes or lines or
Yes. There was a scene that got cut. There was a scene. Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Where I was actually in the hallway. I think this was gonna be my first scene where they first saw me.
Yeah.
Where I was walking in the hallway and I had my phone out and I was reacting to the milk video. And they wanted me to laugh. They wanted me to bust out laughing.
What?
I cannot fake laugh for my life. I arrived on set and I got really nervous because I knew I was doing the scene, but I didn't know I was doing it then. And so I had to mentally prepare. And I got really scared. I didn't want the directors to think bad of me. And because that was my first scene I filmed with them. And so I didn't want them to think, oh, he can't do fake laughing. Why is he even here? And so I do this scene. I will never go back. I did this scene. And instead of laughing like anybody, you know, actually, even if it was a chuckle, they wanted me to actually burst out laughing.
Yeah.
My immediate thing, I started wheezing, but it was a fake wheeze. It was like, and you could clearly see me struggling, and I could not fake laugh. That was what I would do the entire time. I would go, and it wasn't even real at all. And I was laughing at myself that entire time because it was so awkward. They'd be like, "Can you get it a little more real?" I was like, "I'll try, thanks." You know, because I was, oh, that was hard, and that was so embarrassing as well.
Yeah. Do you think you could do it now or no?
Maybe. I can maybe do it now. I've gotten better at it. I can maybe do it now. It just depends on what's happening in the scene.
Is that why they cut it out? Because you couldn't do it, or
I'm 90% sure that's why they did it.
oh my
90%
God.
sure. All right, he can't. No, we're done. I mean, it could have been for something else, maybe timing reasons they couldn't add it in. I'm not sure, but
yeah, I'm curious. Okay, so you were filming the milk coming out of the locker?
no, I was watching the reaction. No, I was reacting to the milk coming out.
You were like, because we saw that in the TikTok, right?
I think originally it was going to be me putting my phone out and laughing at it. And I think they changed it and so that we could see the video. And they put it in Robbie and Kenny's scene.
Oh, wait. So during that montage at the end of episode 2, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, they might have put it there.
Oh, so like as they were showing like all the different things, like maybe a clip of you laughing at the milk.
Yeah, maybe they would have seen me holding the phone and laughing at it, you know, doing all that.
Yeah. Do you know for sure if it was the end of episode 2?
I don't know whether it was the first meeting of me or the end of episode 2. I'm not that sure.
Okay. Because episode 3 is when we see that for the first time. We see that TikTok. So I'm curious, like, because if they showed,
Yeah.
because if
Yeah,
they
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe they added that. Maybe it wasn't originally in episode 3. Maybe it was gonna
yeah,
be. Yeah, maybe it was gonna be in episode 2.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
they just had to edit and add the other thing instead.
yeah. You get what I'm saying, right? There must have been some change
Oh yeah, definitely.
because to show you reacting to it before. I mean, I guess
It
it could have
actually being
worked
shown to Robbie. Yeah,
before.
I don't know. I don't know. It could have been. They maybe would have shown it twice.
Yeah, I feel like they. I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't show that. You know, if they were gonna change it up, they probably would have showed Robbie some like another form of bullying. Because like, why show that milk thing twice?
Yeah.
That's interesting though. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, so what was your favorite scene to film on set?
Balboa Park.
Yeah.
I loved running, even though again I looked so bad doing it. But I loved running that long way, and I loved just doing that fight scene. I loved chasing people, and I that let me get to know a lot of the guys there. So I
Yeah.
got to meet and talk more with all of the guys. So that was fun.
It looked like it was fun to film.
Definitely, yeah.
How was the weather? Because I know in Atlanta it could get pretty cold. Was it okay that night?
I think it was a little. I think it was a little cold. Yeah, I think it was cold because I remember us having to go into a car because we were pretty cold. I remember it being pretty cold, but it not to the point where we were freezing. To the point where we just didn't want to get too cold and not be able to fully do the scene without shivering or whatever.
And I'm curious also because you posted a photo with your stunt double for that scene. Did you use a stunt double in that scene?
I did not use a stunt double in that scene. The stunt double was there just in case I had to do anything, but I don't think she did anything having to do with that scene that day.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I saw you posted that photo, but then I don't remember any stunts in particular, or I don't
I think
remember
it
seeing
was
a stunt double.
when we were at the library that we posted that.
Yeah,
That was the library scene, yeah, because she did that fall into the books.
but you still had the stunt double there for the Balboa Park just in case.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah, just
yeah,
in
she was
case
still
anything
there.
happens. Yeah, you just everywhere you go, you have someone dressed exactly like you.
Yeah, and you just have to sit there and kind of, oh, okay, doppelganger. It's fine. Happens all the time.
It's like you raise your hand, she raises her
Yeah,
hand.
we're just sitting there looking at her. She's kind of saying, "Do you copy me? Are you my mirror? Is that what's going on here?"
That's funny. That's funny. Um, so you know your scenes, you worked with the younger cast, all the middle schoolers, but I'm curious if given the opportunity, uh, who from the cast of Cobra Kai would you want to work with in a scene? If you could work with
Meaning which
anybody,
scene? Any scene?
if just in the future, if any scene, it doesn't matter what the context is, how realistic, like if you could work with any actor, you know, you're Zack, be with any actor, like which actor would you want to work with most?
I would want to work with Stingray. I think Stingray.
Yes.
I'd also want to work with Johnny. I think Johnny would be cool. And then, oh, Demetri. I love Demetri. I think that would be awesome. Along with Hawks. I mean, everyone I'd love to work with. But I think like Stingray, Johnny, Demetri, Hawk, even Mary. I think that'd be cool. It'd be really awesome.
I hope you do get to interact with those characters, and I think the way of doing that is hopefully maybe joining a dojo. And my question to
Oh, yeah.
you is if the writers came up to you and said, "Hey, we want Zack to join the karate war," How would you react to that?
I would love that. That would be absolutely awesome. I would completely be onto that. I would do it. I would sacrifice anything. I would do it. I would love that.
And do you have any martial arts experience?
I don't have any martial arts experience. I am athletically inclined. I can do karate. I have the physical ability to do karate. My brother does karate. He does MMA.
Oh wow.
And so me and him sometimes spar for fun, just doing a little thing for fun. And so I kind of have training. Like I can throw a punch, I can throw a kick, I can push, I have physical strength, at least some. And I have the potential to be able to do karate. I am athletically inclined, like I said, but I don't have any experience with doing it.
I'm sure the dancing helps a little bit, right? Like being loose, getting your leg up, right?
Yeah, being able to move and stuff, having technique to get your leg up. Even though I'm not that much of a ballet dancer, I can't really do ballet or lift my leg up that high. I can still kick head level.
Do you do stretches because you dance? Do you stretch a lot?
Yeah, I stretch sometimes.
Okay, because I know that's like crucial for karate fighting, so you don't get hurt, so you could get your leg up.
Like pulling a muscle and stuff, you gotta stretch and do all this and pull your hand behind your head and arms and legs, especially because there's a lot of kicking high and low and make sure your feet are strong enough to bring somebody down.
So you would be ready to like take on any training like from someone as someone who doesn't know, like who's learning the basics. You would be ready for that journey if it was presented.
Yeah, I would definitely. I would do that for sure.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, like the whole thing with this show is like it's just everyone now. Like karate's becoming like the face of the valley. Everyone's joining. Yeah. Kyler, Brooks tried to join, Piper. Everyone wants to join. So hopefully, you know, maybe you and your other bullies and Anthony, you see like what happened to Kenny. And you're like, I want to get involved, whether it's Cobra Kai, which sounds like it would be more for Zack, but then also Kenny's there.
Yeah, I think that would be cool if Zack decides to join Cobra Kai because of how aggressive he is, and he realized, oh, Kenny's here, and then maybe there could be some rivalry there.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a situation though, like where, like Kyler joined Cobra Kai after bullying Hawk, but then they kind of became friends for like a little bit in season 3. They were friends until he
switched sides. Yeah,
until he switched sides. So do you think maybe like if you joined Cobra Kai, like kind of like you and Kenny could kind of like
I think maybe I would be up to the idea. I think Dallas's character Kenny would probably reject because I mean I'm the whole entire reason he's almost evil now.
Yeah,
I'm the entire reason why he's changed a lot.
Yeah, hopefully they don't go through with that and then have him like do a Hawk where he severely beats you up like what he did to Brock. That would
yeah. Oh god, that would be scary.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, but I don't want that to happen to you.
Oh gosh, I just come in, I'm so confident. It's like, yeah, come on, try and beat me. And then suddenly my nose is broken and my teeth are all falling out.
It's like maybe like you keep the camera like on the outside of the dojo and you see the doors, you see you walking in, you're like, I'm ready for this, and it's the same shot, and then you walk back out with like all bloodied up and you're like,
yeah, I'm ready for this. Never mind, I'm not.
A few moments later.
Yeah. A few moments later. 911, what's your
something like that.
Yeah.
Also, if you could play any other character on Cobra Kai other than Zack, who would you play and why?
I think that'd also be the same for who I'd want to work with, and that is Stingray, Johnny, and Gianni.
Yeah.
Because I love their characters, especially Johnny because he's so dynamic. He's got great comedy, but he's also got dramatic moments. And he really has he has so many feelings that are kind of confusing, but like not confusing at the same time. And he's a really diverse character. And Demetri's character, he's great. Comedic comedically inclined, and I really like his character. And the Stingray, he's the greatest. I mean, his work is fantastic. I like that they added him back in season 4.
And he had such a great role in season 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so you said Zack would probably join Cobra Kai if he could join a dojo?
Absolutely, I think so. Or Eagle Fang, but I think Cobra Kai would be more his thing.
All right, so which dojo would Brock join?
Brock would join Eagle Fang, I believe. I think I would join Eagle Fang because Miyagi-Do is too soft, Cobra Kai is too hard, and Eagle Fang is kind of in the middle there.
It's right in the middle.
Yeah, it's definitely between Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do, but I think I'd go with Eagle Fang.
Yeah.
Because Miyagi-Do, you have to do chores. You know?
You sound like Anthony.
Yeah. And those guys in, I think it's the second season, where they come in and they go, I want to do some karate. And then Daniel, I think he says, all right, well, here's some brushes. Go ahead and paint the fence. And he goes, I knew this sucked. I knew there was no way. This is too good to be true. Free karate lessons, please. You're just trying to get us to do your child labor. It was some line like that.
I mean, you do have to admit, though, if you're going to a karate class and they tell you to paint the fence, it's kind of a little like, what? Not Daniel didn't.
I came here to learn karate. What are you doing?
He didn't even like explain like, oh, like the movement is muscle he didn't even like, he just said, oh no, you're gonna paint my fence. Like, yeah,
I think if he explained that to me, I think maybe I would have more consideration. But if he just said clean my fence, I would say no.
Yeah,
for karate, you're gonna teach me karate. I'm not here to paint your fence and then suddenly I get a free lesson.
It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have any other projects that you're working on other than Cobra Kai right now?
I not at the current moment. I don't. There have been several auditions, but not at the current moment. No.
Okay. And well, I'm sure this show is gonna, you're such a young actor. This show is gonna present so many opportunities for you because
absolutely,
it's the #1 show. Everyone's watching it.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that are watching it.
Yeah, and did you hear Shola Maridueña got cast as Blue Beetle?
Blue Beetle, yeah, in this new thing. How is he gonna? Is the 5th season gonna like? How is he gonna go along with the other seasons if he's doing this main character?
That's the big thing, and that's why I think they filmed season 5 so like close to season 4. Like, I mean, we don't know for sure why, but I think they're filming Blue Beetle now, so I think that's why they wanted to get season 5 done with, which is a smart move.
That is a smart move, yeah. Because then they're waiting till like 2023 to let season. I think if it's either 6 or 5, I'm not sure.
I'm hoping we get season 5 by the end of this year. Hopefully, it will either be the end of this year or beginning of next year. Yeah,
I hope so. I don't think they would make us wait. They already have the whole entire thing edited.
Yeah,
or at least around edited because they just filmed it. So it'd be great if they had it by the end of the year or.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they filmed seasons 4 and 5 in the same year and released season 4 the same year as So, I think they'll definitely have it ready by the end of this year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they'll probably have it ready by the end of this year. I can imagine. So they'll hopefully they either let it out by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. If they don't make us wait long time.
Yeah. And last question for you. If you could play any role in any existing movie or television show, what role would you play and why?
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Oh, that's a hard question. Because there are so many roles.
Someone might be watching this and might be like, oh, he wants to be in this. Never know.
So yeah, casting directors out there. I'm just kidding. But I know there's something. I watched the movie obviously I can only do this when I'm older, unless there's some crazy thing. But you know that movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, it's a movie. A guy, he acts like a normal citizen, but he's actually an agent or something. I wasn't quite clear on that when I watched it. But he has great fight scenes. It's hard to explain, but he has great fight scenes. Fantastic acting. It's fantastic. I think it would be cool to play a character like that when I'm older. As of now, I love the movie Good Boys, and I think that'd be a really cool.
Oh wait, the comedy, was it?
The comedy, yeah. With, what is his name? Is it Jacob?
Yes, Jacob. I got it. I don't know. But I know
he was also in Before I Wake. But it'd be great to play a character. Yeah, someone like that. I think that would be freaking fantastic.
Like rated R comedy.
Yeah, especially because I can relate as a middle schooler.
Yeah.
To all of that stuff, and I know what all that stuff is, and it's really cool.
Oh, I could. The fact that you brought that up, I wasn't sure at first what movie, but now that I know, you would totally. I think after seeing Zack, like you could totally play that role.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. I love that movie when I watched it, and I would love to play either of those characters. I think I like to play Thor because he could sing, so I think that'd be really cool, or any of the characters. But I really loved that movie.
That's awesome. Well, maybe if they make like a sequel or a
Good Boys 2. Wait. Too good to be true.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like Good Boys Too Good to be True.
That's actually a brilliant title. I think you gotta.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You gotta pitch that to them
on the spot there.
There you go. Well, before we wrap up, you have a very special surprise for all of us. Now, as we talked about throughout this interview, you are a piano player, you sing, and I asked you if you could put together a song, anything from Cobra Kai. And do you want to tell everyone what you're going to perform today for us right here?
Yes, I'm going to play Open Arms by Steve Perry and Journey in the scene where Allie and Johnny are talking to each other during that last scene where we see Allie.
Such a great scene.
I'll grab the
when I heard you like you mentioned that you were gonna play this song in particular, and I was like, let's go, because that scene's great, the song is great, and I love that song before that scene. So seeing it used, are you a fan of this song in particular, not just because of Cobra Kai?
Oh, I love Steve Perry. I love the song as well.
Yeah,
song is great. I've actually played it before. I like the song. Okay,
well, I'm super excited to hear it. So I'm gonna put you by yourself, and whenever you're ready, take it away. Excited for this.
All right. Feeling your heart, softly whisper your frozen sleep. How could our love so hard? We sailed on together, we drifted apart, and here we're on my side. So now I'm drawn to you with open arms, nothing to hide. Believe what I say. So here I am with open arms, hoping you'll see what your love means to me. Open arms.
Wow. There we go. That was
I love that song.
Oh my God, that was awesome. And first off, props off to you for doing that after this very long interview.
I thought my voice was gonna be completely gone because I've been talking this entire time.
For you to be talking this entire time and then do that was great. And also, hearing your I listened to a lot of your Instagram covers, and your voice sounds like it sounds like you got so much better.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel like when you get older and you sing more, you experience more, you're able to bring more into it. And so compared to a few Instagram covers I've done before, playing the piano even, I feel like I've progressed playing piano, learning some notes and doing some songs. And then also singing wise, I've worked a lot. I sing almost every day. And so I like just riffing on things and singing different songs. And so I definitely feel like I've progressed, and I'm really happy.
Yeah, for sure. That was so good. That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And we just want to thank everyone out there for watching this interview, and also for donating to feed the children. You can still do so by clicking the donate button down below. We appreciate all the support. Brock, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. My pleasure.
This was a blast. It was so fun.
Absolutely.
And I wish you best of luck with everything in the future with all your projects, Cobra Kai, and I'm excited to see some other stuff with you.
Thank you. And you too.
Thank you.
And you too.
We'll see you guys next time on Cobra Kai Kid, and until then, remember,
Cobra Kai never dies.